Alright guys, in today's video, let's install an AIS transponder. This took me quite a few weeks actually, because I had some other things going on, but here's some pictures of sailing out in the bay with a Gold Gate Bridge in the background. Let's get to it. Guys, I'm so excited. Look what I got over my shoulder. Yep, it's a... what is that? It's an orange! No, it's a no, it's... wait, hold on. Sorry, this is it. There it is. Alright guys, this is the trak B954. It's Class B AIS transponder. And I picked this sucker up from Middletech Marine. Anyways, it's pretty cool. Let's unbox it. It's got some cool things and directions. Okay, so directions. Most of these directions are all online. Here is the unit. And I bought this for a couple of reasons. One of them is that this thing has a VHF splitter. There's two of those that are VHF splitter. It also has Wi-Fi and it has Bluetooth. It does NMEA 2000 and NMEA 183. And it comes with all the cables and a mount. So super excited. That's about it for this unboxing, because we really need to get to installing this thing, so let's get to that right now. So the first thing I needed to do is put a backbone cord or line through my boat, and that backbone will accommodate a couple of things. One, it connects the chart plotter, which is out on the deck out here, and that needs to, right now that connects via Wi-Fi up to the mast to the wind instrument, and it has a GPS unit in it. That's all I have it doing. So to make that do other things on the boat, you need a backbone to go from that unit to all the other instruments on the boat. And the thing is, so the AIS is the thing that got me doing that. So let's start from the AIS, because that's kind of where I started. If we look down in here, let's go and get some light. Let's see, so you can see down in here where this tube goes through. Just above that, I'm going to drill a hole, because that whole area is open, and that will accept this end that needs to come through. And this side is quite open. There's a big hole right here. That's where that will come out. Then it's going to have to go back through and down here, if you can see these holes. And then I've got to be able to slide it all the way through and under the floors without being able to pull it. I have nothing to pull from there, so hopefully I can push that through. This line goes all the way from here to the chart plotter. Now let me show you. This took some time, because I had to come down here through this hole here, which I had to make. If you can see that, I'll show you that a little bit better. There is that hole right there, so that has been made. I couldn't go this direction because that would go into the bathroom, so I go this direction, and it goes under this step right here. I had to come out underneath this seat and route it back through, and then try to run it back through here, so that it's going to be complicated. Oh, I know, we're getting complicated here, but I did have to go into the bathroom because I needed to come into this cabinet here, and that, so underneath the floor, underneath the bathroom floor, and then back out here, which, if I can get this, you'll see a cable right there. And can I point it out? I'm trying to with one hand here. That cable right there that I'm pointing to right here, and then that one right around past with some other electronics back into this back cavity which, let me show you here, which that goes underneath the bed back here. So I had to lift up all these panels, take the beds out, and then I had to take the sides out here, back here and back here, those two panels. That third panel right there goes up to the pedestal, and so I routed the wires back here up this direction. And at the bottom of the pedestal is a big plate, so there's a couple of holes for wires, but nothing big enough to run that cable through. So what I ended up doing is making a larger hole in that pedestal plate, which is the bottom of the pedestal. It's a big plate there, and it's about a 1/4 inch thick. So I had to drill a big old hole in it for another access point for the wires to go up through. and run the wire up there. This was a really complicated, really difficult process. I had my daughter here yesterday helping me, and it was pretty crazy. So trying to get that wire through, trying to push a pretty soft wire cable through that floor over here was the first almost impossibility. And so like, if I could show you the holes, it's really tough because like if you look back in here, you know, you got to go underneath the floor here, which is only about a 1/4 inch between this floor and the hull, and you got to reach back in there. And on this side, there's a bigger hole, but it goes down to that smaller hole. So after about an hour of trying, I finally decided, I gave up, and I was going to measure out the sails. And when I said measure out the sails, I said, oh, I only have one of those long tape measures that are like aluminum or whatever, steel. I don't know. It's kind of flexible, but they're also rigid. And I went, wait, flexible and rigid. So I grabbed that tape measure, and back in here, I started pushing it back down, and I made it all the way back into this lazarette here, where you, with my daughter, grabbed a camera and started taking pictures under there to see if she could see it, because she could hear it. And then we could see the tape measure back in there, and then we grabbed it. I wish I could have filmed this, but I mean, it was really tight quarters. It was crazy. But so I ended up being able to reach down in there, grab the tape measure, and from there to here, pull it out this way. I taped the cord to it and pulled it through, and it stuck right in the floor there because that's the smallest part. And I just had to keep working it until it finally came through, because the end's a little bit bigger than that 1/4 inch. But it finally came through, got it through there, wiggled it through, got it through that point, and then I had this whole pedestal thing to worry about. And the pedestal was its own chore because, yeah, I drilled a hole in the bottom about that big. You see it? Boop. Well, okay, maybe not that big, but big enough for the cord to fit through. But now I got to get the cord through there, and I can't push it up through the pedestal and up through the pedestal and out through the hole. Let me show you the hole here. So the hole, which I have taped off right now, is right there. You can see it in the front of the pedestal. So this needs to go down, straight down, not interfere with the guide chains that come up and down the pedestal, and then out through that little hole. So you think going down is probably the best way. So what I did is I got a rope, and that rope I fed down through the pedestal this way, and then I had her sit there and twist it until I could finally see it down at the bottom, because it had to go, the first time it went down around one of the chains. So we had to untwist it, and oh, this was so difficult to try and look up there through one of the holes. I had flashlights and lights and all sorts of stuff. Anyways, up through there, we finally got it untangled, and then I had to line it up with that hole, and it took probably an hour, and then we finally got that rope down through there. The saga's almost over. And then I taped the cable to it, pulled it up through, and then lightly pulled it through that hole, and we have it out on that side. So now we have the chart plotter connected. Let me show you. So the chart plotter connected here to this T junction, which I have a extra, if you can see here, I have an extra connector, so if I want to connect another instrument up here, I can do so. It goes back down through into there. I've got grommets coming. I'll place a rubber grommet on that so it's not leaking. Right now it's taped. Grommets get here later this afternoon. Okay, so that goes down through there, through, I was able to pull this back through, so it only kind of wraps right around here. Okay, now it comes back up right here. It's gonna go from here right out to the AIS unit. We have this connector here, this connector to AIS unit. This one is going to be for power. It's future self. Oh, I better shut up. You're not supposed to know that yet. I just, I don't know anything about all the NMEA 2000, I say NMEA 2000, the networks. So I installed the backbone on the boat. We saw all that information, and then connected the unit. Nothing was working. I thought, what the heck? I don't understand it. Well, I was thinking sort of like point-to-point network sort of thing. There's no router, there's no devices other than the 2 units that are powered. So why would you need power? Well, it turns out, yeah, you guessed it, I need power. So today we're installing that power cable for the NMEA 2000 network. And then hopefully my device shows up on the network and everything works. I know the AIS is working. I checked that online and I could see my boat. We went out sailing and it tracked our boat everywhere we were going, gave all the info we needed, but it's just not showing up on the plotter. So let's get that added to the network right now. But first, let's make a latte. All right, we're getting the final in here. Look at how good that looks. Yum! Okay, that's looking good. My milk is just about hot over here. Steaming pot is ready. That just finished. My milk is hot. Turn that, that's all the way up. Turn that all the way off. We'll fill up the steaming pot with some nice hot milk, and then my little frother. And I know it's kind of the cheap way of doing this, but here we go. And when we keep it spinning there, not much air going in there, and I think we'll get a nice frothy foam. Only takes a second or two, and we are getting there. Just about perfect. I know, patience. It's got to be perfect. There we go. That looks about right. Now I've got my cup, my beautiful. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness. Does that look good or what? No art, but that. Look at that steam coming off there. All right, guys, moment of truth. Got the wiring hooked up, and now we need to turn on, let's see here, we want instruments on, and we'll turn this on. I haven't even had a chance to enjoy my latte here. You'd think I'd go running up there. So I turned on the instruments panel over there as I take my sip of my latte. Okay, turned on the instruments, turned on the VHF, and then I came up here and I turned on the Raymarine autopilot, the Raymarine chart plotter. And we need to see, so we are on. Okay, need to see, accept that. Let's go to charts. And let's see what happens here. And, oh, here we go. And we got GPS at least. Oh, look at that. We have, hey, yes, I have got, there's Willin. Check us out. We have our, hey, that worked. What do you know, it just needed power. So now we have our AIS spots are all showing up. Here's the different boats in the marina, and they all have AIS, and they are all showing up on our chart plotter. God, that is a job done. I am so excited about that. Holy smokes, who'd have known? Well, probably all of you knew I needed power on my network, and that works. I gotta kind of let everybody know that, because I've had a couple people helping me out with this. So I really need a big thank you to Jason Young at Miltech Marine. Fantastic support there. That's where I bought this unit from, and they were super fast to respond every time I asked them a question, whether it was related to this or not. Super fast response. So thank you, Jason. And then M-Trak, they were really good with their support too. Gave me some information and let me know, hey, they both let me know I needed power on that network, which is really not related to the unit itself. That unit is the M-Trak B954. It's a Class B AIS transponder. Hey, thank you guys a lot. I appreciate it. We will talk to you later.